just to give you a heads up.
Right on. Yeah.
Cool.
So, how much is the VIP membership at the Steam and Cream?
That would be a Carl question. If Carl can't answer it, then Will can answer it.
That's definitely a Will question.
What's going on, guys? Steven from One of One in the collective, and I got my boy Rich, my boy Carl, and my boy Will here today. Want to do a little interview that kind of highlights some of the guys that I consider the operational backbone of the collective, if you will. Everybody is involved, but there's something specific about some of these guys, and it's the scheduling team. It's kind of focused on flashes scheduling, and especially the evening, the 8 to 9, 9 to 10 ish. You know, they can be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. That flash scheduling, host pairing, some queue management stuff, rule enforcement, and like all of the unseen daily work required to like maintain structure and fairness and consistency inside of the collective. And I think this is probably going to be similar to a lot of the other big rooms on the book face, because if they function well, then they have to have some sort of structure, without a doubt. So what's going on, guys?
Not much.
It's good.
So the way it's showing me, I got Will on the top, Carl is the meat in the middle, and Rich is below as the other piece of bread. We'll start with Will. Will, if you could be any vegetable, what would you be and why?
Ooh. Any vegetable?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with spinach, right? That packs the most punch. You get the most out of some spinach.
Right on. Very good. Mr. Carl, at what we like to call him on Wednesday, that's rough trade night at the club. Carlos, what would you be?
Oh, definitely a radish.
Yeah.
And why is
question.
that?
No question. It's so pretty, nice and red. You pull it out, then you bite into it. You never know what you're going to get. Is it going to be sour, sweet? Like, is this thing ripe? Is it going to be bitter? What am I getting? Who knows?
I have never bit into a sour radish in my life.
It's nasty, man. It's horrible when you pull.
Oh, dude. I have too. We used to, I lived in San Diego forever, and like first period I'd be in school, second period we'd be in Tijuana. We'd hop on a trolley and be down there. 3 tacos for $1, and they serve them with radishes. And sometimes, man, them radishes were last month's or last year's.
Mm-hmm.
So, Uncle Rico, what vegetable would you be? You'd be a fruit.
Jalapeno.
Is it? Yeah, it's seeds. Yeah, right on.
So I could burn your ass coming out, cuz.
Right on. All right, we got all that stupid shit out of the way. So let's just get into it. So we'll start. Well, what would you say like your real day-to-day role inside the collective is?
Let's see. Day to day, I spend most of my time helping organize and keep the flashes rolling. Scheduling, checking out what other people in the room have that they want to flash. Making sure hosts know when they're up. So,
right on.
Yeah, most of it centers around those flashes, and then trying to bring a little bit of normalcy to the admin mod team.
Yeah, definitely. That can be. It's a lot of people, a lot of personalities, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people in and out. Carl, what about you? What would you like? How would you describe your day-to-day role?
It's all over the place, man. On days when I'm flashing, obviously I'm a host. I assist Will very minimally with scheduling when I can. Usually I'm involved with lines, not that kind of lines, like setting up lines for numbers and whatever. But all of that, those are the roles I think people see on the front of the page or whatever. But even what Will said, there's so much that happens behind the scenes every day. The DMs that are nonstop, questions back and forth with guys about comps or like, hey, what can we line this out or whatever. Just trying to keep stuff appropriate, keep it real in the room, and then just making sure stuff functions. Goes the way it's supposed to.
Wow.
Making sure Rich doesn't run around all crazy in his bra and panties every day. Full-time job, bro.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So when did you realize that role carried so much responsibility? But
Day
but,
one.
but
Day one.
in all seriousness, I'm the newest of us admins here in this little video teleconference. So I'm guessing that it was all the same for you guys. You start as a mod and then end up as an admin. Is that correct? So
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
when did you realize, like, I know for me, man, this page can be like a full-time job in itself. When did you guys realize how much responsibility is involved to make sure that this room, runs?
Stephen froze for me, so I wasn't sure if he was
Yeah,
done.
he froze.
Oh,
Okay.
it'll fix itself. So
All
yeah,
right.
go ahead.
I think since I've joined the room, it's like it's layers of like realization. Like you join the room and like, wow, like this is a well-oiled machine. Like these guys really like have their stuff together. And then there's a lot that goes into it. And then I joined the schedule team and I'm like, wow, like it takes a lot to schedule all these flashes and figure this stuff out. And then I become an admin and you see like the next layer of all of the behind the scenes stuff that takes place. So it's like just a little bit at a time, realizing a little bit more of just how much goes into it.
Right on. So let's hop into that part then. So scheduling, how does that work? So Um, almost every night we have around 8 o'clock and around 9 o'clock flash. And that's not including any lunch or late nights. So how do we make that happen twice a day, 7 days a week? Like, how does this even work? Do you have like, do you get a grease board?
Will's a wizard. That's how it happens.
A wizard. Absolute wizard.
An absolute magician with that schedule, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Following up with hosts, making sure we have hosts available who can run, and then members that are active, involved, that reach out, that have something that we can flash. And I'm serious when I say Will fits it all together, man. Like Legos.
Yep. And if somebody drops out and can't run, he's usually the first to take the spot too. So the guy's literally, like, when we started talking and Will started talking about what he does, that's why I put my head down and started laughing, because I I don't think the three of us combined could keep up with what he does daily. It's ridiculous, man. It really
Without a
is.
doubt. Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
It's just different. I think everybody has the different things that they do. So
Yeah,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
happens to be something that I feel like I can do and I'm fairly decent at. So
Well, walk me through it. So, like, at what part during the week would you start putting together next week's schedule? Like, give me an idea of how this would work.
yeah, as soon as the week before schedule's full. I mean, like the schedule's full, like the DMs don't stop coming when one week is full. So we get messages from guys who are interested in a flash or have something they want to flash. You start working them into the next week. I think right now, like Friday is when it like kind of really ramps up for me just because of my work schedule. I work all my 40 hours Monday through Thursday. So then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I can hit up other people in the room, try to fill up that schedule that's still open.
You try to have it locked in by Sunday to put it out.
Yeah, for sure. Ideally would be Saturday, but most of the time, yeah, sometimes Sunday that everything is like fully locked in place.
Right on. Carl, how many DMs would you say you get a week with somebody asking for a flash?
You know what, man? It's so many, and it's not necessarily, it's not as linear as that. As someone texts, hey, I got this, I want a flash. A lot of times it'll be someone who's fairly new to the hobby, even maybe, or to how this all works on Facebook. Hey, I've got this card, I want to line it. Well, usually a lot of times they mean a flash, so then it
Mhm.
turns into, it's not a quick conversation. It turns into, hey, brother, welcome. We're glad you're here. Here's how it works. Here's how flashes work. Here's what we're kind of looking for. Um, I recommend you line your card, type thing. That's daily, multiple times a day, some days more than others. It does ramp up quite a bit, I think, in the weekends. Um,
Hmm.
when people are out shopping or pulling stuff or whatever they're doing on the weekends. I don't know. I don't know what I work on the weekends. So, but it's a lot, man. Yesterday, just for example, I think yesterday there were 3 or 4 different new ones, and then I had a couple guys who I was going back and forth with all day about stuff that they were wanting lined or whatever, just talking it out, looking at comps. We can do this, we can't do that type thing. So it's a lot.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. I even get them a lot too. I'm sure all admins and mods get it. I think with me being out there with like reels and videos, a lot of the new guys, it feels lately that a lot of these guys that just joined, it's, the name they saw pretty quick, or maybe I'm pretty stupid in the chat. So like probably pretty approachable. But like Garcia reached out to me, and exactly like you said, um, he meant a flash, but he called it a line. But it was a great conversation. It was just, it takes work, and that's fine. That's cool, because I want all of our members to be wanted and educated in this and understand. And it did end with, you probably want to line that, trying to explain
Yeah.
to these guys like, hey man, you can't just jump in and flash and hope that it triples comps. It just don't work that way.
Yeah, man, I love having those conversations, and that's part of the hobby. A lot of times I was new once too, and to all of it, and a lot of the times it's, here's what a flash is, here's what a raz is. You really want to find something else to do with that card, but it's getting to know people.
Mhm.
It's getting to build community and meeting with people who love the hobby from all over the world, really, and talking about cards.
Yeah, for sure. And I always get to see how everybody has all this fire shit, and I don't have any of that. And I'm like, how do you guys have all this sweet shit? What do you do? Oh
Yep.
man. So how about like, all right, so we got 14 people. We're gonna flash this upcoming week, and now we've got to find the hosts. How do you guys go, and Will, you if you want to touch on this like you've touched on other things, how do you go about matching, or is there anything to the member and the host?
Um, sometimes, like, if we're flashing for somebody who I know has a particularly good relationship with one of the hosts, um it makes sense to connect them, right? They run in the same circles a lot of times. That host is going to know who to tag for that person, like that kind of thing. um Another thing, like, that comes into play sometimes is uh matching, like, certain hosts know, I think, certain, like, groups better. So like if somebody shows up, they got a Josh Allen card, like super nice Josh Allen card, they want to flash it. If I can, I'm gonna set them up with John, or now that we've got Amir in the room, right? Or Amir, those guys run in Nickel City, the Buffalo Bills room. They know all the Buffalo Bills people. They're gonna do the best job for that person and that Josh Allen card.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. So what would you guys say? Like, I mean, obviously that's a lot of work. Just trying to get the schedule. Well, before I ask that though, all right. So what happens? And obviously, admins and mods flash too. But have you ever come across an issue where we just don't have somebody to flash? And if so, what do you do?
That turns into an all-day operation. Doesn't happen very often. It's usually when somebody has something happen. They can't get home to their card, or they don't want to flash that night because they're all of a sudden not available or whatever. And then, Will and I had one yesterday where, we're messaging like, hey, this happened. Can we fill this slot? Who do we have that's available that hasn't flashed in a while? That's, good guy, has something that's going to be some fire. And then messaging, hey, are you available? Do you have anything? Sometimes we're lucky. Yesterday was a pretty quick process. There have been times in the past where it's been pretty much all day trying to figure it out, but we have a team. And we all help each other out, figure it out, man.
Right on. Nice. Worst case scenario, then you just run one of your banger Bears cards there, or Lions for you, Will.
No,
Because
they'll
the
stay
Cowboys
here.
ain't got no bangers, so I ain't even going to say nothing to Rich.
Fact.
Oh man, right on. No, yeah, it's there's a lot to it, and I had no clue. I mean, God, I had no clue, and I try to have, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, and I think anybody that's reached out to me would say I do a good job, but I try to have the most patience possible for people, especially new people, because like you said, Carl, everybody was new once. Look at today. Some people, they're just still not sure what a 10 topper is, right? It's something always new coming up, right? It's just wild. This shit is crazy.
Yep.
But if somebody has these questions, who on the team would you suggest that they reach out to? Carl, who
Will.
would you say?
if it's something I can't handle, or if I'm not sure about it, I'll hit up
Fucking
Rich.
Will.
If I'm busy or don't want to deal with it, I'm like, listen, I know Will is available 24/7 for any questions you have. Just hit him up. Hit him up.
Sure.
He's
Yeah.
got you. It depends
Right
on
on.
what the issue is, man. Seriously, it
Yeah.
depends on what the issue is. If somebody's asking specifically about Flash, Flash schedule, something like that, it's probably going to be Will. If it's someone who just has questions about the hobby that I can't help out with, I'll throw it in one of the groups that we have and say, hey, anybody available to help this guy? And really, all of the admins and mods, I would say, can handle stuff like that really well and do a really good job helping people out. It just depends on what the question is or why they're reaching out, because that's a wide gamut. There's a wide range there of questions from, I have this base Jackson Dart rated rookie, what should I do with it, to, hey, I think somebody stole my card type stuff.
Yeah, without a doubt. How often do those kinds of things come up? Would you guess, like, in a month? Would you see it once a month, more or less?
Which kind of things?
I'm sorry. Like something coming up missing, or like something damaged, or something where a member has an issue with another member.
It's not very often that it's an actual issue. It does happen. But I think part of what we do really well in the collective is try and protect ourselves and members by vetting and being on top of who's in the room and who's allowed in the room. There are sometimes questions or things that slip through, of course, but it's really, I mean, that's probably the least common sort of thing that happens, but it does happen.
Sure. Right on. Well, what about you? Do you get that a lot? Like, would you agree with Carl, or would you say in your case it's been more or less?
I don't feel like I don't get them all that often. Every once in a while, particularly like if I hosted a flash and like that card showed up to the person and it had a a little bit of damage that wasn't disclosed or something like that, they might come to me. But I feel like I've had maybe like a few of those, honestly, in total.
Right. Yeah.
The OGs in this room, I think, did an amazing job of setting the room up to be a safe place for people to move cards.
And that goes to the behind the scenes stuff before a flash. not to cut you off, but where the host is responsible to make sure we have appropriate comps. If there's damage, it's disclosed. Like that's part of what goes into hosting that all of our hosts are should be aware of, so that kind of thing doesn't happen. It still happens, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing. The first card I ever flashed ever was in the collective, and it did like it sat and I hate one touches. I just hate them because they're always sized wrong. But it had the repack company that I can't stand's little sticker on it. I didn't want to mess with it, so I just left it. So finally, when I take it out to get some good pictures of it, it had some like scuffing on it. And I'm like, shit, gotta say something. I'm gonna say that's why it did comps, but I'm gonna say that's why it had nothing to do with the fact that nobody knew who the hell I was. Had nothing to do with that at all. Completely but
Definitely
I
the damage.
disclosed it. Yeah. And well, I was new to the room, like, or newer, I get these questions a lot, like, and Rich and I have talked about this probably 3 or 4 recordings. Since we're talking about flashes, what would you say is more important? The card or the card owner?
I'm gonna say slightly card owner probably, but it is a little bit of both. Um, like somebody who supports a ton, has like a very broad support system. They can get away with running maybe not quite as desirable card, and it's still gonna do well just because of who they are. Um, Somebody who's not as well known though, like if they pull out a banger card that everybody like somebody sees like a Jackson Dart downtown, like they're probably not even paying attention to who the owner is, right? Like they just want to play it for the card. So
Sure.
um
Right on. Carl, you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think probably each guy would have and lady would have a different philosophy. Like, there are lots of people that if I see their flash, there have been times where I've won a card. I didn't even know what the card was. I'm going to be honest. I saw who was running. I was at work, jumped in, threw some money at it, and back to work. So for me personally, if it's a monster Caleb Williams or something, I'm going to jump in for the card. But most of the time, I jump in everywhere. But it's about who's running, like who the owner is. But I think when it comes to trying to create the perfect flash, the owner and the card and the host all pretty much all contribute equally to the success of
And the banker.
and the bank.
And
Oh
the
yeah,
banker.
the team that's running. Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, you're right, because that's where I was going to go to, and I was going to see if Rich hopped on and added that. I think he was going to add that, and you kind of beat him to it. That's huge. That is huge because let's just say I was going to run in another room, another big room that we like and they're good. There's still a few hosts that are just bigger names. I want them to run me. In our room, it doesn't matter because that's our room for us. Imagine if you're just a dude playing a dude, flashing a card in another room. You know what I'm saying? Then you want that guy. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So, all right, there's a lot of flashes. And then lining cards and the line team. You guys are monsters. Let's talk about the queue. So early on queue. Well, that's funny you say that because I remember when I finally became an admin, I was talking to Glenn and I'm like, what does Carl actually do? And he goes, he goes, actually, he said,
Everything.
he really, yeah, he did. He said he really grinds in that queue. I was terrified of it, man. And I think we've done a great job. And I want to know if you guys agree with me of putting a few more, hey, you guys focus on that and being the Q team. Everybody can get down, but I think, and I'm on it. So I think it's helped a lot with keeping it empty. But pre-Q, like, holy smokes, man, there would be 10, 15, 20 at times. And I think we were all just like, I don't want to get into it. What is the deal with that thing? Why is it so, why do we shy away from it so much?
It takes so I think like I don't know about everybody else. I always had to jump in because I knew there'd be, 25 posts to be approved. When I knew I had like 15 to 30-minute block of time, because to decline a post is not like it can be. We could just decline and move on, but we don't do that, right? Like we don't do that here. We'll decline and then take the time to, attach the rule or even send a DM and say like, hey, great card, you're good on everything, but we really need you to attach comps, or can you put, picture? And when you're doing that 26 times, or
for sure.
18 times or 9 times, and the approvals are really the easy ones when it's like, oh yeah, he coined it, comps are good, bang, we're good to go. Those are the easy ones. It's more that for me personally, that's what it was. And I have 4 kids, single dad, work, and I'm on the page like as much as I can possibly be. That was like the last thing I wanted to be doing. Like I want to be playing in somebody's line, chopping it up with the boys in the chat, whatever. And I'm over here telling some guy who I've never heard of why his Lionel Messi card is not going to work,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Will, what did you jump in that much, or did you shy from it like most of us?
Yeah, no, I didn't jump in as much as Carl. I mean, I would cherry pick sometimes. I'll be honest. Like, I'd go in there and be like, okay, like, hey, look, Josh Warner's got a lineup. Let me approve that real quick.
Yeah,
oh, hey, look, I know this person. Like, but yeah, I definitely didn't grind it as hard as Carl did. But
yeah, well,
I tried to help.
I'm gonna take this second and give Josh a shout out, because like he is spearheading it over there, and everybody helps. And he's got his executive assistant, that'd be moi, and then we've got our 2 underlings, our minions, our kitchen bitches, if you will. That'd be Jake and fucking Lee. Do what I say. Do what I say.
Yo, Bears fan over there, man. Cut him some slack.
Yeah.
It takes us time to get things figured out.
No, for sure. And but there's a lot to that, like it's not always that easy, even if they do everything right in attached comps, because they attached fucking, I don't know, eBay shit from 3 years ago, and now I got to see if Card Ladder and 130 point if it's working, and just try to figure that out. Pro tip 17: fucking buy Card Ladder. Just do it. Make my life easier. God,
agreed.
For the love of God.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just that cues, but I've gotten some messages lately, and they're like, dude, it's much better now. And then, message me, guys. If you're trying to reach out to somebody and they're not responding, message one of us, and we'll get a hold of them for you. And if you feel like it's been sitting in the queue for a while, message Dutton. He'll get you squared away.
He's always free.
Yeah,
man
always.
Sits around thinking about the Cowboys playing with himself all day. He's fine.
For sure. So
always free.
You mentioned, I think it was you, Carl, that mentioned, like, or it might have been Will, the guys before us who set these rules in play, and kind of kept it going. How do you guys balance like the rules and fairness and consistency when we have such deep-rooted relationships with some of the members? Like, I know for me, a couple of them live down the street from me, and you're like, maybe I should let this one slide because it's my boy. Like, how do you guys go about that? Because let's be honest, that shit pops up and we're humans.
Will, if I see something, there's a question, I absolutely will reach out to Will or Rich or somebody, say, hey, here's what's up. It's my boy. Here's how I'm feeling about it. What do y'all think? Mm-hmm. Help get somebody in there who's a little less, a little less close than I am.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we use each other, like Carl said, for sure. Like, I had a question just this morning on, hey, like, these comps are, like, really kind of on the line. Do I run this as a 30? Do I run it as a 45? What do we do? Right. Rich and Carl, they chime in, give me their opinion. Goes a long way. And I think what you said though is we do a good job of like, we have deep rooted relationships with our members. Like I think as a mod admin team, we have put in a lot of work and have earned the respect of the people who play in our group. And so when I tell somebody like, hey man, I'm really sorry, like I know like that card has one, comp of $102, like the rest are in the 80s and 90s, I can't flash that for you. I don't get pushback. I feel like I think people they're like, okay, like that's fine and move on.
Rich, is that the same for you?
Yeah, man. I think we talked about this previous, but it's just the relationships you have, how you talk to people, how you treat them, and how you handle things. The one thing I wanted to say earlier, I didn't want to interject when we were talking about team, is that we bounce everything off of each other, right? Like 99.9% of the decisions we make, even if we decline somebody, is bounced off of one another. So as a team, we're making them decisions. We're not really, just going out there saying, "Hey, this is my buddy. I'm going to approve this." We all
Mhm.
still ask each other. We hold our buddies accountable the same way we do. How many times do we look at our own lines and like, okay, is this going to be too damn high? Am I pushing the limit there?
A
All right,
lot.
let me back it off a couple spaces. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So we're holding our friends accountable the same way we would hold anybody accountable. And we're
For sure.
really we're really not even holding accountable. We're letting stuff go. If it makes sense, here you go. Let's do it. If it doesn't make sense, then we have to backspace.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for our members listening, I really hope you guys listen to this one because I know I've gotten questions from folks that wondered. I wish I would have had this years ago. I would understand things a lot better, but we don't always agree on everything either. Like we definitely disagree on a lot of stuff, and we just work it out like a team would. And so it's not like Rich wants to run this at 200 when it should be ran at 165, and we're all like, yeah, it's cool. Does, doesn't work like that, We and I kind of feel like I'm the one. Maybe I'm not, but I feel like I'm always the one. Like, well, what about I just feel like I do that a lot, but I do that because my wife hates it. I just, I'm just looking down the road or trying to like, well, what are we missing here? Let me argue this from another point just to see if that makes sense. And I'm usually wrong, but I'm cool with that. I got no problem being wrong. But anyways, enough of that. So that's all like the big ticket, like this is how we do shit. There's a lot of invisible work. What people don't see, behind the scenes, what it costs us in our personal time, our relationships, energy, stress, fucking, all that stuff. Will, how do you balance doing all this shit in the collective and having a wife and kids and a job?
Um, I have been working on getting better at it. Right, like I try when I can. I try to do my flashes after the kids are in bed. Um, I use this time like on Friday mornings. I'm not working. My wife and kids are gone. I can get stuff done for the collective, and I enjoy doing that. So I do. Um, I think it's just you just got to remember what's the most important thing, um, and that's family and our personal lives, and make sure that this card stuff doesn't get in the way of that.
I
My
was gonna
my
say,
wife's pretty good at keeping me in check. So
sealed Pokemon is more important, but whatever. Sorry.
Yes, it
That's
is.
why I'm always in trouble. Carl, what about you, man? You're busy. You're busy. You got kids that are fucking tagging on walls and like doing all kinds of shit. And I see pictures of you all over the place. how do you, man? Same question. I mean, like, how do you do this?
You know, my schedule has changed, so I just try to do this whenever I'm free. I mean, for me, football, you know, the whole football card thing, probably 4 or 5 years ago, started getting into it, and it was um really to help myself find something that I could just bury myself into and invest into as a hobby. It turned into relationships. And
Uh-huh.
so any relationship takes work. It takes effort. Like y'all know that you're all married. It takes time. It takes energy. Even you know your kids, coworkers, whatever. To me, those things are the most valuable. And so when I have my kids, I'm with my kids all the time. If I flash when my kids are here, and they're usually up because I'm Mountain Time. So flashes right now are running at 6 and 7 in the
Mhm.
evening my time. When I have them, they're all about it. Like my son's 13. He'll sit here and ask, "What's the card? Like, do I know who's flashing it? How's it doing?" You know, and then he'll go off and do his own thing. My little one, she's 7. She'll hang out right next to me. She'll turn on. Usually, she turns on Modern Family or some sitcom. The kid is 7 and loves The Office. She's watching The Office, sitting right next to me while we're doing it. You know, um, but it's for me. It's pretty much anytime I'm free. um you know, if I'm not working around the house or out shopping or whatever, I'm doing something card related, whether that's, you know, checking on Rich to make sure he isn't doing something crazy today, or I mean, you can't see it, but I've got a card show next weekend. I have not comped or done anything with cards in months now, and I've just been buying. But you know, I don't spend a ton of money on breaks, but there's a couple guys that I try to support. So I got all these cards here that I'm like, you should probably go in the dollar bin, but maybe that's 10. I don't know. So I'm sitting. You know, it takes time. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's not that difficult for me to balance though. It's a little. You know, my kids are gone every other week, so I work. You know, work about 60 hours this week. The rest of the time, pretty much cards.
You know, I get it. Yeah. I got it a little different when I'm at work. You guys know I'm off right now, but if we're not actively doing something, I got time. So that's actually really nice to be at work and be able to do stuff. And then I can devote more. Cause you guys know, both my kids are young athletes that are just busier than shit. My wife's on the cheerboard. I coach football. Whatever sport we're doing, we're involved. We're fucking running the what's it where you go buy potato chips? What the hell is that called?
Snack bar.
At the game. Yeah, whatever that shit. The concessions. Good grief.
There it is.
Working
That was hard.
concessions and
Words are hard, sir.
words of English. I'm learning it. Just so like it helps because my wife will make a comment every once in a while, and I don't have to worry about her listening to this because she does not give a fuck what I do. Like as far as she has zero interest in me, so I can say all the shit I want, and she's not going to hear it. But I have no fear of that. I got maybe one of my punk ass brothers telling her, but um, so I try to. I've been trying to, focus on them when I'm home and still be there with you guys because man, I want to fucking hang out with you guys. It's fun. It's fun. Rich, we know you say you do what you do for a living, but I know you run the third most successful ice cream truck in the tri-state area, and you're not working because it's cold as shit here. So how do you go? Because you have your hands full right now. I mean, how do you fucking balance it, dude?
Um, I mean, I don't host, I don't bank very often, I don't line very often, so my main thing is in the PMs talking to people and helping. So it might look like I'm around a lot, but I'm really not because I'm really not on the page doing what you guys are doing, you know. These guys are either nonstop lining or they're hosting at night, they're flashing. I don't do most of that. I do tag, but I have more time in the PMs, but you just find time, dude. When you really care about people, you just find time. Like I don't think it's I really think that, and these guys will probably agree, it's probably 10% cards, honestly, and
Yeah.
90% people.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe that should be different sometimes. I would love to dive more into cards, winning cards, buying cards, but
Winning cards.
I really enjoy fucking people, man.
Yeah.
So that's what's in it for me, and that's what I try to focus on. And it's the same way I
That's not getting clipped at all.
same way
Clipped.
same
Said
way
I
I
really enjoy fucking people.
I didn't get to see it. What happened?
I'm sorry,
Uncle
dude.
Rico.
Nothing, man. No, carry on.
But anyways, um no, you just gotta love people, man. You gotta make it fine. You gotta make it fun because it can be tiring, right? Like
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time trying to figure stuff out and debating what's best for our members at all times. So
Yeah.
that part can get extremely tiring. Um, but it's for the people.
For sure. And then
Um,
don't let some major Facebook hobby shit pop up because then fuck,
we
you
were
know?
all sidetracked at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yep.
whoa. All right.
Yep.
So, Will, what do you think makes the collective special compared to other places in the hobby, other rooms specifically?
That it's what we've been taught. It's the relationships, right? Uh, it's the connections that we have with the members. Um, it's it's just different. Before I joined the collective, I played in lots of other rooms. Like I didn't have conversations with admins or mods from these other rooms. I didn't come to the collective team with a ton of other connections. Um, but here, like I feel like every member is part of the family. Like,
Yep.
um,
Oh yeah, I agree, man. That was the biggest draw for me. Like when you guys asked if I wanted to be a mod, I'm like, man, dude, I already felt like I was part of things just because just the group chat, just the the collective chat that we have for members and everybody, man. It was like always awesome, It was just fun as shit. Everybody was cool. I don't know. I'm guessing Carl, you would probably agree, but what would you say? What mindset, Carl? What mindset should members carry to ensure long-term success? Let me kind of break this down how I have this in my head. Um, I get messages. I got a lot of buddies, and it's kidding on the square, but let's be honest. We could put the same card up, and chances are mine's gonna do better because I'm an admin or a mod. We can put a line up. Chances are we've got that slight advantage. We earn it on the back end with all the stuff we do, and nobody's saying one way or another. But since not everybody has that, what kind of mindset? Like, how would you like? What advice would you give them for playing in these rooms and to stay long term and to not get burnt out or just you know I don't know. Is there any pro tips? Anything you could think of? Like,
Yeah, for sure. I think your motivation for being there. Are you here because you're just looking for a quick buck? Are you here in the room just trying to turn a profit and move on? Or are you here because you genuinely care about the hobby, the people in the hobby, the people specifically in collective? I'm not saying everybody has to be, best friends or anything, but I can tell you right now, the reason I do what I do for collective and all the things I do, and I think Will's the same and Rich is probably the same. Not only do we love the hobby, but like Rich said, he loves fucking people. I mean, uh, it's about the people. And if you're in the room just looking out for yourself, um, your lines won't fill, your flashes won't do well. And here's the thing that I would say, I don't know about Rich and Will, but for me, however long ago it was that I joined the room, that's right where I started. That's right where I started. Like I had no idea. I did not have the first clue what a flash was.
Mhm.
right.
No idea. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
No idea how to line a card. No idea what any of this was. and I'm just I'm looking, I'm watching, and people from the mod team started reaching out. Like, I don't think I even reached out to them. I'm pretty sure someone reached out to me, started talking, started chatting. I jumped in a few times, and like realistically, I was in tons of rooms,
Mhm.
all over the place, throwing money everywhere. There's this one night, hit a CJ Stroud downtown in a flash, PSA 9, a Joe Burrow downtown, PSA 10 in a flash, and a Drake make a boom off of like $75. And I was like, I'm hooked. I'm in. All in the same night. All in the same night. And then here's what happened though. In the collective, I had somebody reached out and said, "Hey, saw that you hit, a card here. If you need help, figuring things out, how to sell it, how to line it, whatever, let us know." One of the other rooms, I got a message that was not cool, not nice, about how much I'd won that night and blah blah blah. Like one of those nasty messages. And the other one, I heard nothing except for tracking. And for me, I'm someone who likes people. I like relationships. That meant a lot. So for people who are in the room, like, how do I get to that place where my flashes are doing really well? Last night that one we ran almost tripled comps. It's because the guy who's running it, one, he's a supporter, and two, he's a really nice guy. He cares about people. He takes care of the people that are close to him. So I would say 100% relationships matter if you want to see that kind of success. Without relationships, you will never have, even with the most amazing card, you can throw up a Tom Brady rookie. It might fill. It's going to take some time, but without the relationships, it just doesn't do as well.
Mhm.
Right. You combine it
Long-winded
all, then
answer,
boom.
but yeah.
No, that's exactly what that's exactly what I was looking for, and these are the things, like, I don't come from a sales background, but I went to 19 schools before I graduated high school, multiple states, multiple countries. Guess what I got to do? I got to figure out how to fucking talk to people or fight. I'm not good at either. But if I
Yep.
was, no, but it's the same thing here. It's selling relationships, but it's not false selling because I fucking like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. I enjoy it, and I think that's the difference. Is nothing bad about any other admin team anywhere. There's some fucking awesome dudes. I don't mean that at all, but I've never had so many cats ever, ever fucking give a shit about me or reach out before I was on the team. I'm not even kidding. And I think that's the difference is the team.
Mhm.
That's what I think.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I don't know. Rich, if you could describe the collective in one word, what would it be?
Phenomenal.
Hmm.
Phenomenal, dude.
Um,
I don't even know how to explain that. I mean, it's from the members to everybody. I think I want to kind of go back to what you were saying about support and just make sure that everybody's aware that support's not a dollar amount. Because there's a big misconception out there that flashes are revolved around how much you spend, and that's inaccurate. I've seen guys that spend $1 and their flashes blow the hell up. I've seen guys that spend $5 a flash and their flashes blow the hell up. And then I've seen guys that are unable to support, but they throw tags and their flashes do well. So just want to make sure that we circle back around to it's about relationships. Yes, it is about support. We're not going to say that it doesn't matter if you don't spend because it does, right? But it's not always about the amount. But I would say our group is phenomenal, dude. Like I'm best friends with my admin team, you know? I would say I can't even say that I'm best friends with one. I would say that all of them are I consider best friends, And I think that they all, including myself, treat the members the same way we treat each other, which is very important. We don't see them as dollar amounts. Um, and these three guys sitting in front of me are just amazing fucking dudes, man, for the hobby, for real life. If you've ever had a discussion with them, they'll tell you anything about their life or about the hobby without a doubt. They're just really good people, man. And collectively, that's why I'm glad to be here,
Oh yeah.
So
Right on. Well, shit, man. That
Yes, sir.
that was pretty good. Who wrote that for you?
I wrote it. I wrote it.
Chat
I wrote it the
GPT.
day I wore my bra and panties for you,
Oh
sir.
shit,
The day I
dude.
did that, I wrote it.
That really
I know they don't
inspires
know.
you.
They don't know. Like I laughed so hard with that shit, and like at the same time, like, dude, I was like, what the fuck, man? Oh my god. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that. Will, what would you say the hardest admin responsibility for you? See how I'm trying to shift this real quick, right? What would you say the hardest admin responsibility is?
I think it's just overall making sure that our members feel supported and taken care of, because that's what's important to us at the end of the day. Like, this team is built on that, and so making sure that the people, the members in the room, know and like recognize that we do care, like that they're not just a dollar sign, to the admins and mods in the room. Because I mean, people feel that way. I think sometimes in this hobby, I've been in rooms and I've felt that way. Like, everybody's got a dollar sign over them. Like, I'm the $10 guy over here who jumps in your flashes for $10, but like, I'm not nearly as important to you as the $100 sign over here. So I think it's the biggest admin responsibility is knowing our members as much as possible.
Oh yeah, I agree. Carl, what do you what would you say if you were king for a day? King, the bear king of fucking Illinois. Anyways, if you could change one
Lord,
thing in the hobby,
if I was Lord Zesty of the North for one day,
you already are.
no,
What would you change in the
that's
hobby,
Lee's
Lord
title, bro.
Zesty?
That ain't me. One thing I would change in the hobby. Like, I don't know that it could ever be changed, but the thing that always gets me is greed. We all want to
Amen.
make, we all want to make money. I get it. We all do. Some of us, though, it feels like have different motivations for making that money. Whether it's to continue to support our hobby and help others and just enjoy it, or it's people really trying to scam people, make their money. I mean, honestly, that's really at the root of like everything bad that happens in the hobby, in my opinion,
Yep.
is greed in some
Mhm.
form or another.
Yep.
Um, if I could change anything else, it would be Caleb Williams signing for Panini last year, but that's it.
Right on. What about you, Will? If you could change anything besides not living in that shithole of a state,
Oh,
what would you change?
oh,
Wow.
OH.
yeah. I mean, there are a few too many hobby guys from Ohio, but I don't know if we can do anything about that.
No, you can't.
Yeah. I would really love if we had a number two, like an actual number two grading company. Like, they don't have to be as good as PSA or like have the same value as PSA, but like maybe close, like
Yeah.
something that's like above raw that like people can use, that are maybe a little faster than PSA. Um, I would love that.
Dude, I am so with you, and this has been on my mind for weeks now. I mean, good Lord, I've been deep diving into these other companies, and like I said, I got a stack of TCG that I have the order created. I haven't paid for it for CGC. And it's not, I'm not trying to make a ton of money. I don't care about the 10, sometimes 30% difference that it's going to be, but I still can't pull the trigger. And I just, I don't know what it is. I mean, they've got me, they've got a spell on me, man. And it's just like, it's so stupid. And tag seems interesting, but I just can't do it yet until they've been around for a little bit. And Beckett would be cool, but I don't know. They're owned by PSA, so what's the fucking difference?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree, man. I wish one of you guys was like somebody that prepped and submitted all the time, because that would make it a lot easier
Man,
for me.
make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, one of you guys need to jump on that, a collective guy.
Come on, Carl.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
Right on. Where do you guys see? Well, we'll start with you. Where do you see the collective a year from now?
Oh, bigger and better, right? Like we're growing. We're almost at 6K in membership now. I think that number is going to keep going up because people join our room and they tell other people. I love those messages. Like I was chatting with a guy earlier this week, came over from Whatnot, joined our room. I think maybe you had something to do with bringing him over, even RC, but
Maybe Lee.
he's just talking. I mean, he's telling me like, "Oh my gosh, this room's amazing!" Like I'm inviting all these people, and like you see, like the member requests coming in with his name under the invite, and like that stuff's so cool. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to keep growing. I think as an admin mod team, we're going to have to keep being creative because like the bigger the room gets, right, the harder it's going to be to keep that vibe of like relationship
I know.
at the forefront. So I think we've as a team got to get creative and figure out how we continue to do that because the room's not going to stop growing.
I have an idea on that. Hear me out. Hear me out. We get to 10,000, we split it into the AFC and NFC. Okay. Then we get to 25 and we're breaking it down north, south, east, and west amongst that. I don't see any other way. I don't see it because you're right. But you're not wrong. I mean, like, how do you keep that? You know, you look at I don't know if it's the longest ever, but reasonable. There's a bazillion people in there. And I don't know how people keep up with shit, but they do. But I think there's like factions. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm scared of that. Like I want that to happen, but like I'm scared of that, man. I don't want to lose that, that whatever we got. I don't want to lose that mojo, you know?
Mhm.
So what about you, Carl? What do you see where do you see the collective in a year?
No, I'd agree with all of that, and I think part of the way we keep that is, the guys on the team, all of us, all the mods and admins, setting that tone. Obviously, Rich, as good as he is with his phone, can't message 6,000 people in a day.
Right.
Individual messages, but just being available and being there and being about the people rather than the money. Um, the room will grow. It's growing, organically. Obviously, we're not out like advertising a lot of places doing stuff like that. And we do run a pretty tight ship as far as like vetting and making sure people are good to be in the room, but we're still growing like crazy, especially, I mean, since I joined the team, it's wild to see how much it's grown. We're talking like, I want to say like double the members maybe. And it hasn't even been a year for me, honestly. Like I've been
Jeez.
around for longer than that, but it hasn't even been a year since I became a mod.
Shit.
And just to keep that going, we got to set the tone and then encourage other. There are guys and girls, but there are guys in the group that are all over the place with members, like helping people out, tagging for people they've never met, messaging like, "Hey, let me help you," because they also love the hobby. They love people. So I think obviously in a year, I think we will see more exponential growth, and I think how that growth happens and how it goes, how we keep that community in the room. It starts here and then kind of trickles out from there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Always starts at the top, right?
Yep.
What about you, Uncle Rico? What do you see going on in a year from now?
Man, it's I mean, we're gonna double probably, I would imagine we would double. We're kind of at the organic growth stage, right? Like
Yeah.
when I started, we were at the more like go grab your friends growth stage. Um, and now it's at the members inviting members stage. And once you get to that word of mouth and that organic growth, then it kind of just takes off. Um, I mean, we're not even 2 years in, right? I think we're climbing on year two, I believe, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
right.
And I remember when we were 300 members and we were, doing giveaways to get to 1,000, and
Jeez.
it's just a really good place to be, man. It's just a really good place to be, and it's not about how big we are. I would be okay if we stayed like we are now, forever.
Mhm.
If I have the same people around me that we have now, I would be okay staying here. I honestly, you always want some more players to come in. That's important. Um, but invite your buddies. That's the thing, man. Enjoy the hobby with your friends. If you're chasing money, great. You can invite them guys too, but invite your buddies in. Some of us have family members in here,
Mhm.
that's there. We have coworkers here, a lot of you, and
Mhm.
people in the neighborhoods that you're in, or like Cody, you
Yeah,
got
for sure.
Cody. So it's not always people who have grown up in the hobby the way we have with the flashes and everything else. You have
Oh yeah.
people that are green, so be fucking nice. Be fucking nice to people, man. I promise you, your niceness will go farther than your dollar will. Remember that.
Yep.
Remember
Facts.
that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right on. Well, guys, I just want to say thank you for everything. All that you do behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, for the members, for us, just being there, and it's huge. I, I don't know. I can't say thank you enough. I mean, just even sitting down and doing this shit, like, who would sit down with this fucking moron and talk with them? That's mind blowing to me. Yet people keep doing it. I don't know what's wrong with you guys, actually. No, but seriously, dude, you guys are truly the best. I thought that before I shut my room down, like, fucking, I don't know. It just, you guys just have it dialed in. It is fucking cool. And I hope I can help continue that. I will try. And I'm just patterning my shit off of you guys. And I can't say thanks enough for everything. And members, you guys, thank you guys, because we don't get to do any of this shit without you guys, period. If you guys all up and left the room, then we'd just be some dudes in a chat, which would stay open
Oh,
100%, but
100%. Yeah.
but we wouldn't be able to do a lot of this stuff. So thank you guys. None of this matters without you, period. That's all. Um, so yeah, that's all I got, man. I thank you guys for doing this, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For
thanks,
sure.
man.
All right.
On to
You
Well,
stocking.
sexy bitches.